All right, we have a 49ers update, and I think this is a significant one right now because San Francisco entering this Thursday night game against Seattle has some health questions along the offensive line. Both guards are currently on the injury report, both starting guards. It's left guard Aaron Banks and right guard Spencer Burford. Banks had already been on there with the turf toe. Spencer Burford added onto the injury report with a knee issue following the win against Tampa Bay. So the 49ers have just signed offensive lineman Ben Bartch off of Jacksonville's practice squad. This is according to Mia O'Brien, who is a reporter covering Jacksonville. Ben Bartch, if you want to take a look at him and at the tweet that reported this from Mia O'Brien, putting it up on the screen right now. He's called the Smoothie King. Why is Ben Bartch called the Smoothie King? Well, at the NFL Combine, he demonstrated why. This was back in 2020 before he was a fourth round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a guy who fits the 49ers athleticism profile because he used to be a tight end at the start of his college career at a D3 school, St. John's University in Minnesota. And he was a wide receiver before that, and he was really skinny. But this guy has made smoothies to bulk up. And on his Wikipedia page, it says that Ben Bartch, quote, in order to gain weight, Bartch consumed a protein shake daily consisting of 7 scrambled eggs, a tub of cottage cheese, quick grits, peanut butter, bananas, and Gatorade, growing him from 240 pounds to 275 in just the summer. He eventually reached 308 pounds with this method, end quote. So the Smoothie King, Ben Bartch, 7 scrambled eggs, a tub of cottage cheese, quick grits, peanut butter, bananas, and Gatorade in one smoothie. And that's how he grew from the wide receiver to the tight end to an NFL offensive lineman, a fourth round pick in 2020. The 49ers, they like that profile. They've had several offensive linemen in the Shanahan system who used to either play other sports or play more athleticism oriented positions because they obviously have a big bias toward athleticism up front to be able to block that outside zone, to be able to reach the second level on some of those run blocks. So Ben Bartch does fit that profile, and both 49ers first string guards are currently on the injury report. Now, here's a scouting report on Ben Bartch. He has some NFL starting experience. In 2020 and 2021, he played left guard and right guard for Jacksonville, and then he settled into that starting left guard role in the 2022 season, and he made a huge stride, like a big jump in between 2021 and 2022, to the point that Bartch was a plus pass protector in 2022. That was the good news. Here's the bad news. In week 5, he dislocated his knee in 2022, and he hasn't been the same player since. He returned from that season-ending injury here in 2023, but was not the same pass protector and got benched after 3 weeks. And to be benched on Jacksonville's offensive line is not good. We saw them a couple weeks ago. It's not a good O-line. It's one of the worst O-lines in the league. However, I would say that the 49ers probably believe that Bartch still has some gas left in the tank as far as his recovery from the dislocated knee goes. They probably said, hey, we don't think that he was fully back yet over his first 3 games, and we think that he can still make some progress in his return. I would almost guarantee that that's the gamble that the 49ers are making here. Bartch does take a 53-man roster spot because the 49ers signed him off of Jacksonville's practice squad. So by rule, if you poach him off of another practice squad, he has to take a roster spot. So here's what it looks like right now for the 49ers. I have Bartch highlighted in teal as a new acquisition. Banks and Burford, these are both currently players on the injury report. I'm going to report on that a little bit later today. I'm going to head to the 49ers facility right after this. And, you know, it's obviously a dicey situation to have both of your guards on the injury report on a short week here against Seattle. So I don't know how the 49ers would play this. I don't think that they would thrust Bartch into the starting lineup right away because I don't think you would know the playbook well enough to be able to do that. But John Feliciano is already replacing Aaron Banks, and we have to see Banks' status. Assuming Feliciano has to fill in for Banks again this week, Maybe you plug Jalen Moore into a right guard position and Bartch is there as an emergency guard in case, you need to sub him in case Moore gets hurt. You probably call up somebody from the practice squad like Jesse Davis, who's a veteran with some starting experience like Bart. Davis is a 32-year-old who the 49ers added to the practice squad not too long ago. Can you go to somebody like Ilm Manning? Of course. Can you go to somebody like Corey Luciano at center in case there is an emergency at center? Of course. They called Luciano up from the practice squad temporarily last week, in fact. But I do think that the 49ers would rather, mess with players right now who have prior NFL starting experience if they do need to get somebody filled in on a pinch. It's, this is a fascinating situation because this is the 49ers' one biggest roster weakness. Performance-wise, this offensive line, cumulative Pro Football Focus pass blocking grade is number 28 in the NFL. Yet Brock Purdy has still been the most efficient quarterback by far in the league. So Purdy has proven that he's good enough to overcome an offensive line that's sketchy in pass protection. But at some point, there's too much attrition along that offensive line, and Trent Williams being out for those 3 games earlier this season, I guess 2 games, but plus 1 where he was hurt for most of it, that obviously hurt the 49ers. Once they start getting, more interior attrition on top of that, obviously Williams is back now, so that's good for them at the tackle positions. But there's a certain level of attrition on the inside that I think could be fatal to the 49ers. That could be like, oh God, like they can't, they can't expect to win this game kind of situation. It's the case for any NFL quarterback. You saw it for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's why the 49ers have to keep on making moves, trying to scheme around this, trying to find a way to keep the offensive line afloat for the time being, because Purdy's doing a fantastic job. Despite the fact that the line hasn't been great in pass protection in front of him. But right now, I mean, this speaks the truth right here. You see the red for the injuries for the 49ers on the interior, and they just added Ben Bartch over there in teal to add a little bit of fortification to the interior line. So this is something I'm going to be keeping my eyes out on here over the course of the next few hours as I head down to the facility. Ben Bartch, he is a character, that's for sure. In case you want me to read that again. In order to gain weight, Bartch consumed a protein shake daily consisting of 7 scrambled eggs, a tub of cottage cheese, quick grits, peanut butter, bananas, and Gatorade, growing from 240 pounds to 275. In just the summer, he eventually reached 308 pounds with this method. And hopefully he's kept some of that athleticism even with that method. It's the tub of cottage cheese that gets me. I hate cottage cheese. That's not going to be on Lunch with Lombardi anytime soon. What will be on Lunch with Lombardi, though, is the 49ers against the Seahawks, the initial scouting report. I have this up on my Twitter. It links to the Athletics, so you can go ahead and check it out. I think the Seahawks are mediocre, negative point differential. Special teams is the one way that Seattle, I think, will be able to find a reliable path to victory against the 49ers. Maybe not reliable, but potentially realistic. So the 49ers have to make sure they dot their I's and cross the T's on special teams. All right, so check that out. It's on my Twitter page, Lombardi himself. We'll talk more about the 49ers and the Seahawks. Right now, I'm going to zoom down to Santa Clara to give you the update on the 49ers O-line on this short week, because that's definitely the central storyline of what is going on. Okay, everybody, see you soon.